Ksenia should go inside.
Може один іще це люк і один ззаді мене стрільця сісти.
Я прийнявся.
Звісно, нирну. Що, ви падаєте?
We were attacking, and our company's then commander was captured.
На той момент він потрапив в полон.
And I came here right after the boot camp. I was sent to the front line the second day. That night we were shelled with everything. I am a Chinese interpreter. Before the war I had never dug anything. It is scary at the beginning, but then you come along. We are stuck with this war for decades. It will not be over in a couple years. They will not pass here. Of course they will not. Do we have to go that way now? Don't know. Nowhere to go generally. End of the line then. I hopped in here to avoid crowding. Ksenia Sevaskina, Promansk journalist. Just don't stick your head out. Repeated explosions. Ottoman Division Commander. That was Radmore's firing. Grayman, let them shoot 5 and 6. Go on through. The Russians are there, across the field, 200 or 300 meters to their positions.
300 метрів, грубо говоря. І там вже їхні позиції.
When we came here, PMC Wagner was here, and the artillery was not working like with the regular army. Now with the latter, there is much more artillery. We are advancing successfully, and they intensify artillery shootings to stop us. Firing. And also they are fortifying their positions and preparing defenses. They do everything they can. Our sappers are having a hard time now. So will we hear it hitting something? Or is it still flying? It should have hit something by now. They try to reach us from afar, but we can avoid it. Our guys are skilled. They know how to counter an enemy fire. Infantry counters infantry, artillery counters artillery, and mortars do the same with other mortars. That's how it works. Job is done. We'll have a coffee break. You are the main coffee guy today, and a main watchman also. It is a military recipe. It's called approximately. I know servicemen like their coffee strong. It has to be sweet primarily. Is that cappuccino? Sarcastic latte macchiato. I have an instant cappuccino every morning. Well, maybe you should install a coffee machine here. Come on, it's not a problem to have a normal breakfast out here. Explosion cyberpunk is here. Anti-unmanned aerial vehicle gun. Can you tell me about it?
А ви передаєте?
I am a drone operator, not an anti-drone. I know nothing about it. I doubt that. We do not land 10 drones daily here, but every now and then we are able to scare them away and prevent them from disclosing our positions, what we have and how many of us are here. When it comes close, we begin to land it with an anti-drone gun. The Russian operator is afraid to lose a drone and turns back. And they try to avoid this area. They know they will lose their drone here. We cover these positions with one anti-unmanned aerial vehicle gun and a double-barrel gun. It's an old trick, but it works.
Дробі.
Exactly. Drones sometimes fly low. Mavics have a range of 500 meters. It has to be at an altitude of 100 to 120 meters to catch a signal. That is, if countermeasures are off, and up to 120 meters, you can take your chances with a buckshot or with a machine gun. But you need a whole squad for that. You turn it on. Battery is full. You turn on the scope. It has two, but this one is more effective.
Два прицели. Ну, ефективніше цим.
Що?
Направляєш.
Why? It has a comfortable interface with a green circle.
Там кружачок. Ціль зелена.
You catch a drone with it, then you pull the trigger and
Нажимаєш на крючок, зажимаючи.
emits an electromagnetic signal that is blocking the drone's connection.
Зажимаєш.
Yes. So you pull the trigger and slowly land the drone.
Тобі ж виснажуєш його і садиш.
We'll have a little excursion. While we were going here, I asked you whether you thought you would sit in trenches all the time. Ottoman Division Commander, of course not. I was in Lyceum for 2 years, then 3 years in the academy, right before the invasion.
3,5 роки в академії до повномасштабного вторгнення. У нас потім
So we graduated a few months earlier, and I was sent to the 28th Brigade. We were in the Kherson region, and then came here in Donetsk region.
Після Херсону переїхали сюди, в Донецьку область.
We did different types of warfare actions, but we forget a lot because you have to start over with everything you know in every new location.
Все, що було, ти все забуваєш, тому що починається як новий аркуш в твоєму житті. Ти розгортаєш, і тебе починається Донецьк.
But we dug here properly, trenches, foxholes. Nobody has been wounded, and only one guy was killed.
Впливу майже немає. І 200-х, за час стояння тут у нас був тільки один.
He was hit hard. We could not provide any help, nor a medic. He had to be put in there instantly.
Було одразу в реанімацію.
Та нам ушла вже.
It has already left, I guess.
Стой, тільки що.
Wait, no. There this bitch is.
Ти курва.
4 or 5 people shoot simultaneously. They fire several clips, and the drone is usually down, given it is low and does not maneuver. The anti-drone gun does not only land the drone, it also can capture it.
Антидронові рушниці. Вона ж не завжди садить. Вона ще може захоплювати.
And then we discover their
В
coordinates.
цьому випадку так само, тільки без пушки.
We were presented with a shotgun, and so we use it too. Good stuff. So if you capture it now, you can lower the drone and shoot it.
Просто його можна збити з...
Його навіть
You
не
don't
потрібно
even
спускати
have
вниз,
to
ми його
land
можемо
it.
просто захопити. От,
Just
там
capture
пішов,
it, and it
захопив,
hangs
гелікоптер
still.
просто не рухається. Тільки там від вітру чуть-чуть. І в той час, доки
And
він
so
не
you
рухається,
can
він
shoot
залишається
it
на новому
and
місці,
take it
ти
down.
ведеш по ньому вогонь і збиваєш.
There that little shit is.
Вон, смотри. Вон, видишь где?
Where?
Видишь?
I can't see it.
Вот, смотри. Вот ветка торчит, и напротив ветки маленькая вот эта. Вон. Видишь где?
Right there, near that tree branch.
Вон.
Все, вижу, да.
Видел?
Got it. It looks down the canyon.
Вона смотрит в сторону каньона. Куда, блядь, а?
Хуй, куда?
The fuck is it looking for?
Смотри.
What do they need?
Що їм потрібно?
Photos and videos of our positions, location of everything, coordinates for aiming. But that does not help them.
Практика їм це не допомагає.
Little shit.
Курва.
Блядь, я вот это так не люблю, когда вот тут висит.
That bitch. So what is your daily routine? Well, just like this, running, shooting. So this excursion of ours, from trench to trench, you do it yourselves too? Yes. Here is drone operator, I'm a Chinese interpreter. Before the war, I had not dug anything. This was something far from me, but I learned a lot. We are stuck with this war for decades. It will not be over in a couple of years. So we have to teach our progeny something useful. There is no sample in this kind of job. It is more like calling. Sometimes you have to help someone understand this craft of war. Some rules are not that obvious, because our enemies are shifted. How many points do you need to make a plane?
Скільки треба мінімум точок, щоб появилася у вас плоскость? Опа-на.
3.
Да, 3.
Right? Because of the ballistics, you can count the trajectory with those points. But if you are unable to perform simple calculations, then you have a problem. Ultimate division commander, the army gives you what civil life cannot. From my own experience, when I got home from the Lyceum, I watched what my comrades were doing. They think in a different way. Here you grow up rapidly.
Тут ніхто не буде дивитися, скільки тобі років, це все залежить від
Nobody looks at your age.
І від того, хочете це робити.
It all depends on your knowledge and will. You have to earn the respect in every team whatsoever. And how old are you? I am 21 right now. It may be hard, but I got used to it.
Людина звикає абсолютно до всього.
Та там вже вчиться середня, ти не смійся. Добровольці там ще.
You know, when people wage war for a long time, it leaves its mark in them.
Їм це все відкладається в голові, це кожній людині по-любому, воно тут багато чого
They've
побачило,
seen a
чого ти
lot,
не побачиш цивільному
and it is all left
житті.
in their
І
heads.
це все відкладається
So
в тебе
when
в
you are
голові.
here
Доки ти
at the
знаходишся
front line,
в такій
there is no
ситуації
problem.
військовій, без проблем, тому що
Everybody is just like you. But it is hard to adapt back to civil life, and the government does not have the ability to help everyone.
В нас держава просто немає можливості, щоб надавати кожному допомогу.
Sounds like our guys. Border service. Not more like a grenade launcher, a GS or self-propelled gun.
Потому что посвистел. Ну да,
And we have hit something. Do you want to go home? Torito, aimer for Browning machine gun, who does not... Well, you'd be surprised. Haven't seen one yet. Hey, guys, who does not want to go home? I think everyone wants it. With God's help, this war will end and we all will go home. One who says he does not want to go home has a liar in his coat of arms. We need some war like this at home, so there would be no difference between here and there. Everybody wants to go home. I too want, but for a month or two, so the family is fed up with you.
А це, допустим, що ти зараз поїдеш додому на тих 10 днів лише себе рознервиш.
And these 10 days off only tease you more.
Справді говоря, от навіть можна сказати, благодаря цьому я додому не дуже так то й хочу.
Shoot first to fourth. What is there? Katsup's derogatory for Russians, the village they reside in.
Иди сюда, Санек.
How long do you work with it?
Да ну как давно?
When did it arrive?
Приехал.
This one for 3 months, I guess.
Месяца 3.
Kurenik Vodfen.
Недостатки у него.
What are its cons? Haven't found one yet. It works well. Yes, just do not overheat it. Can't shoot much because of that. How many rounds does it take to overheat? A whole snail 30 ammo clip firing constantly. Then it starts overheating, and that is bad. And the snail is an ammo clip for 30 rounds. Cover it and let's move. They can answer any time. Now, we will reload it after. As you say. How can they find you? The sound of shooting tells them. And then we can be hit. It is as powerful as a landmine. Pierces armor. Is that a frag ammo? It has lots of them. Frag high explosives, armor piercing. We use all we are given. We can fire 2 crates of ammo in a couple hours. So what are you doing here after that? Digging trenches, fortifying. Some of these days we will build another one. Diggings is paramount. One can strive without it. If you can dig, you will survive. If you cannot, then you will not. You will not make it without a dugout. You need thousands of them to move freely and cover each other. And all this wandering around will get you killed. That is why we have a dugout all over the place. And we want one into the field. Some sort of mole life this is. Yeah, but it is crucial. Commander told us that in the army a soldier has to be busy. Doing what? You guessed it, digging. Digging is better than shooting up here. You can't fire Kalashnikov, just a Mark 19. So did all the time. Journalist Ksenia Sevaskina, videographer Alexei Nikolin, editor Alexander Nazarov, driver Andriy Dovik. You found a flower. The guides gave it to me. Our soldiers find such romantic moments even in these trenches.